So, Tinder emeritus and cosplay expert, Robbie Wickens. What do we get to call you, by the way? Can we call you Robbie? You
can call me Robbie.
All right. We've earned it.
We're
good.
in. Yeah,
If you could describe this lunch you didn't have in one word, what would it be?
Aunt Jemima.
That's 2 words.
That's 2 words.
And that's an American company, I thought.
You specifically said 1 word?
Yeah.
We'll make it 2.
And now for Dinner with Racers, presented by
Continental Tire.
with your hosts, Ryan Eversley and Sean Heckman.
Placeholder radio sound. I'm a driver. I'm very angry. This is the sound of a driver on the radio during a race.
What do you think I should order?
And welcome to Dinner with Racers. I am Sean Heckman.
And I am Ryan Eversley.
And if you have listened to our show in years past, you are used to us doing a giant 30-day road trip where we go across the country and have lunch and dinner with people in racing. Still doing that, but a little different now. We are doing 1-week trips here and there, and we are currently driving back from Indianapolis, Indiana, where we spent 7 days driving 1,500 miles to have 10 meals with people in racing.
Now, of course, we couldn't do that without a great car to get us there. So we used my 2017 Acura MDX, and I believe we were rolling on what kind of tire is it, Sean?
Oh, the Continental Tire.
The Continental Tire.
Yeah, the Continental Tire.
Okay, yeah, cool. Now, this particular episode, we went to local Indy staple, Charlie Brown's.
Charlie Brown.
Pancake and Steakhouse.
Yep.
And met up with none other than Canadian superstar Robert Wickens. Wickens!
Now, for the select few of you who don't know who Robert Wickens is, he is another one of our Canadian friends, growing up near Toronto. But he was a star of assorted ranks in North America before heading to Europe. In North America, he was a big karting star in Canada, went on to win the Formula BMW USA Championship, and then went over to Europe, became a Red Bull Junior driver, won the Formula Renault Championship, competed in GP3, test drove for Marussia or Virgin or whatever they were called at the time, and eventually landed a full-time ride with Mercedes and the Deutsche Turnwagen Masters Championship, otherwise known as DTM, where won a bunch of races and was just kind of a standout. All before finally coming back to North America, where he is now a full-time IndyCar Series driver for Schmidt-Peterson Motorsport. At the time of this recording, he is still yet to win a race, but in his rookie year, he has been an absolute standout. So we learned about cosplay.
We also learned about Robert Wickens' Tinder game.
We had the first ever reference to Booger Sugar.
That's true. Germans and their love for fun and nicknames.
We learned about constipated dogs.
I had to explain to Canadian Robert Wickens the legend of Tim Horton.
And, of course, it turns out, after a little coaxing, he actually realized who we were.
Of course, none of this would be possible without our partners, Acura and Continental Tire. Wait, nope, I meant to say
Continental Tire! Robert Wickens!
All right, we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're
Yeah,
eating.
yeah.
Have at it.
Yep.
We waste no time. Get that on.
We waste a lot of time.
Yeah, we waste a lot of time.
How's my sound?
You sound great. You look gorgeous.
Thanks, buddy.
So we're good.
We got you a mug.
Oh,
We've never actually given anybody a mug
Right.
before.
there we go.
Yeah, so.
I only do things for gifts. So.
Same.
Good. All right. This is going well.
Why are you late?
My dog would not shit. To be perfectly honest with you.
That is an acceptable answer.
Yeah.
You are on time.
won.
You
Yeah,
are
you've
on
won.
time.
All right.
Okay.
And
So that's the interview. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're at Charlie Brown's. It's the oldest restaurant in Speedway, Indiana. This isn't where we were originally going to go, and then you changed it to Charlie Brown's.
yeah,
Is there a backstory? Have you been here before?
once. It was the only restaurant I knew around the Speedway. So,
Oh, okay.
So, okay.
All right.
and
So this was more proximity that you have to go back.
is it?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I don't know. I'm going to the Speedway after this.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right over there.
Yeah. I'm new. Give me a break. But Yeah, was here with Pierce Phillips
Okay.
during the rookie orientation when it was like, I guess when it was the day before when Hinch was driving.
Yeah.
We blew off watching him and went to Charlie Brown's for lunch. So
Good.
What is there a thing you got last time? You're like, I'm doing that again, or
I'm a huge breakfast guy.
yeah, is that a Canadian thing?
Could be.
Yep.
Could be.
Because
Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna guess. What do you put on your pancakes?
Maybe I don't even eat pancakes.
Oh, are we laying this down? Okay. All right. What's the dog?
My dog?
Yeah.
It's a Morkie, Maltese Yorkie mix. His name is James.
Sounds like a killer.
Yeah, you named it.
Oh, he's ferocious.
Yeah, I believe this.
You named it after Hinchcliffe, or just love the guy so much?
Partially.
Okay.
Yeah, so my fiance and I met through Hinch when he had his accident.
Okay.
So we actually matched on Tinder in the airport when I was flying to see James in the hospital.
Okay.
So then we started talking, hit it off, moved in with each other, and we thought we wanted
After like
kind
one
of,
date on Tinder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
moved quick.
Yeah.
And honestly, we wanted like a proper name for a dog. So
Yeah.
it was between like Henry and James.
So the reason
And,
you were late is because James wouldn't.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Excellent.
We're off to a good start.
So, as a traveling man, would you recommend Tinder as a way to meet people with a busy schedule?
I didn't hate it. No, I didn't hate it.
Success rate was okay?
I wasn't like a serious user.
Okay.
And back in my
You
day,
could quit anytime.
yeah, back in my day, there wasn't super likes and all this.
Back in your day,
stuff.
Tinder?
Yeah. Of
This is like
2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like an OG Tinder user. Yeah, I got in, got
You
out.
wrote the book, right?
Yeah.
Super likes.
No, it was all right. But then now you can pay like subscriptions apparently, and like
Right.
it was free when I did it. It's great.
Listen, kids. So you could teach the class to like the Indy Lights kids, or like the Mazda Road to Indy,
The
or something
Tinder
like that.
101?
You'd be the Tinder 101 class, right?
I learned that I got lucky
Okay.
with my Tinder account because Carly, my fiance, told me that my account sucked.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
was your shirt on in every photo?
It was.
Oh, okay.
It was.
Okay, so there's
And
first problem.
I tried to, yeah, exactly. I tried to make it as least racing related as possible.
Yep.
That's
okay,
what I
that's
did
a
with
sign.
mine.
Yeah.
That's probably what might suck.
The problem is though, the only like professional photos you have of yourself is at work.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm
Right.
like, oh, I look kind of good in that one, but then like,
But it gives
I
it
did
away.
the
I have a
exact
team
same-
shirt on.
I
Yeah.
did the same thing. Yeah.
So I didn't know what to do. So I did a little half-half.
Uh-huh.
But the big thing was my description,
There we go.
right? Because I had a Canadian flag and said living in the British flag, so I was living in London at the time.
Okay.
And she was like, I almost didn't like swipe right on you because like it's like you were just visiting and here for like a one-night stand
Looking very
type
fun.
thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, true. I probably could have said something different, but
Right. You could have just like,
because
how's
maybe
it
that's
going?
why.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
exactly.
why I wasn't getting the hits I was hoping for sometimes.
Right. Right. Okay. So, how many? You said half your pictures were racing-ish related, and then all it said was Canada, England. There was no like about me. Like what was your
It was
job
literally
title?
the Canadian flag emoji,
Yeah.
the word living,
Yeah. That's
In.
it. That's it.
British flag.
Okay.
Big sell.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Big sell.
Now your fiance now, right?
Yes.
Okay. She's a cosplay model.
Yeah, she's a professional cosplayer.
Okay,
is what it
that's
is.
what you say. All right.
But she's also she specializes in more like kind of like geek chic culture stuff. She's
Okay.
trying to get more into the lifestyle side of things.
Okay. Yeah. No. Go
Back it up.
I was just
back
gonna
it up.
say, in the same regard of her Tinder account, was it half like her as like Harley Quinn or something, and then half like a puppy
Yeah.
in a field? And you're like, wait, there's a
Yeah,
difference.
hang on
here.
a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poison Ivy, Harley
Right.
Quinn, all the things.
There you
But
go.
honestly, she had a lot of wigs on. Like every photo was a different hairstyle.
Okay.
And but it didn't really say what she did or anything like that on her description either. And I was like, oh, maybe she's a hairstylist. I don't know.
Yep. Sure. So innocent.
Who knows? But yeah, like one she had like a bob, like
Right.
hairstyle. One she was like a redhead. The other one she was blonde. Like she's naturally blonde.
Okay.
And then Jen basically asked. Well, she actually wrote me first, which was good.
Right.
So that was like sign number one.
that you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then because of James's accident, I actually apparently had really good game because typically I don't have good game.
Right.
Like if she wrote me, I probably would have wrote her too much.
Hey,
and
how's it going? I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
Let's get married. You're the best. But because I was kind of preoccupied with my like friend nearly dying,
Yeah.
I would go like a day without writing her, and like because I'd be sat beside James
okay.
in the hospital bed,
Yeah.
I would like he'd be snoozing on morphine or something,
Right.
and I'd be like, oh, I'll see what's happening.
Little swipe action.
while he's like drooling down his face.
Right.
But yeah, and then I would like kind of do like a one-word reply because I didn't have a lot of time, and she was like, on our first date, she's like, your Tinder game was really strong. And I was just like, wow.
All right, kids. So-
Never heard that one before.
That's the ticket is to act like you don't need them.
So it wasn't so much that you met through James as much as James required your attention, and therefore you played it right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you're such a good friend.
He played a non-participating role.
Sure. He created a timeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't smack the wall at Indy,
Yeah.
you're still swiping out there right now. Just
Exactly.
alone in the
Because the
woods,
thing was,
just
like,
swiping.
So the
Just
reason, like,
swiping.
everyone will say, like, oh, well, actually you met on Tinder, so, like, why does James rule in, right? So she was living in Toronto, and I was living in Guelph. And for people that don't know, it's about a 45-minute drive away,
Which direction?
southwest.
Okay.
And I was never a guy that would commute for Tinder,
Yeah, sure.
you know?
I get
I
you.
was that, couple miles radius
Right,
guy.
small
You're good to
radius,
go.
sure.
And she was the same. Because obviously in Toronto, it's a huge city. There's
No shortage
hundreds
of
of
selections.
thousands of
Yeah.
people
Right.
within 1 kilometer of each
Right.
other. But so the only reason why we found each other was because we were both at the airport at the same time. So she was flying in from a con. She was coming in from Dallas.
Okay.
She was in Toronto, and I was flying out. So she was in the arrivals. I was in
yeah.
departures. And then
And you were going to Indy just to see James because of his accident? Like
yeah,
just go
well, I was
support him?
planning to go to the 500 anyway, and
Yeah.
that was going to be my first time at the 500.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, basically I had to move my flight up a day
Right.
because I was going to go. I think his crash was on the Thursday
Yeah, it was
before
like
Carb
midweek
Day,
somewhere, yeah.
and I was planning to fly in on Carb Day, and then basically do the Saturday
Change the
off
whole
and the
thing.
race on Sunday.
Yeah.
But changed the plans and
Right.
but met a girl out of it, so that was pretty good.
Nice.
That works.
That's a cool story.
All right, so professional cosplay. Is this like conventions, like she's going to this Comic-Con and then this other thing? Like, what is it? I don't know what this does.
Yeah, no, you got it exactly right.
Okay.
So she's actually in Prince George, British Columbia,
Okay.
as we speak, for a comic convention there.
Okay, so like 1 week she's
And,
like some anime character.
Yeah,
And then she's-
every cosplayer will do their own thing.
Okay.
Right? It's because
Wait, is she contracted by like some
Nope.
publishing group? No, she's just
'cause
going.
that's actually where it gets a little tricky is kind of the copyright
licensing of it,
infringements
yeah.
and this, that,
right,
the other.
yeah,
so,
sure.
Don't know anything about them.
but in terms of like, because what they do is, so she went to school for film.
Okay.
Because she wanted to be a host and all that.
Anyone who does that is useless. Trust me.
No, she's pretty handy at it.
Okay.
But
Maybe you just suck.
Maybe I suck.
maybe it's just you, man. but yeah, and then she was always a fan of horror movies.
Okay.
And after that, her brother took her to a Comic-Con. She loved it. She saw people dressing up. Because, like, have you ever been to a Comic-Con?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an experience.
No,
Yeah.
for sure.
I've been in Vegas while one was going
yeah.
on. It was like all in the hotel.
But it's
It
just
was
like
amazing. Yeah.
everyone will just dress up as their favorite characters
Right.
and go to
Right.
the convention. And it's
Yeah.
just actually pretty cool community of, like, positivity. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, so proud of this costume or that costume.
Right.
And
The
everyone
work that goes
talks
into
and-
it is
yeah.
incredible.
I'm just trying to figure out how the profession comes in.
Yeah, so she...
Appearances, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a long story.
That-
We'll get into it.
We have. I don't know how
Relax,
time we have.
man.
All right,
Are we on a
let's go,
timeline?
guys.
Listen,
I hate it when he gets like this.
So then she went to her first Comic-Con, saw everyone dressing up, all that stuff. Then she thought, oh, well, I'll make my own and see how I do.
Yeah.
And she made one. She loved it. She realized that she wasn't super good at her first one. So she actually went back to school to become a seamstress, to learn how to sew, to learn how to
Okay.
do everything. And then now she's like this great seamstress that makes all of her costumes more or less from scratch. There's different types of cosplay. You can start from the beginning. You can do what's called like closet cosplay, where you basically pick clothes out of your closet and become
Kind
a
of turn it
character,
into something.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, you can purchase
Yeah.
already done ones and whatever.
Right.
but,
I'm an average white guy.
But
Yeah. Done.
where she makes it a profession is so she'll make her costume and then she'll do photo shoot in that costume.
Okay.
And then once she's a guest of the convention, they'll either pay her an appearance fee or she'll just be a guest of the show to be there.
Okay.
And she will effectively sell her autograph on the photos that she did
And that
of
actually
her
works,
in,
okay.
in the costume.
Wow.
So it's kind
Okay.
of that fine line of, well, she's not making money off of, let's say, a Marvel
The
character.
trademark, so to speak,
Right.
as much as her
Because-
appearance.
But she's a smart girl. She's got her head on straight.
Sure.
She, yeah, so her big brand is she likes making like tutu dresses.
Okay.
So she's most known for an R2 like costume, but
say,
it's
let's-
a big tutu with like a corset.
We're going to bleep that.
So we don't get sued by.
Yeah. I mean, Disney's not known for suing.
No,
they're not a
good.
litigious
They're
group
good.
at all.
But she calls it R2 tutu, so she gets away with it.
Perfect.
We can leave that in.
We can leave
Yeah.
R2-2 in,
Yeah.
but a familiar droid-like thing
Right.
on wheels. So
As
wheels
a
around.
big-time international racing star as you are, with this job she has, obviously that's going to get a lot of male attention that can, I'm sure, be inappropriate.
Yeah,
How are you handling that?
it's all right because it's kind of a two-way street, right? Because in motorsports,
I was going to say, you probably have.
there's a lot of kind of like promo girls or grid
Right.
girls or
Right.
whatever the case is, or various things that happen. So it's luckily we're both the non-jealous type,
Right.
and everything's fine. But I think a lot of her fans are her fans because of how pretty she is,
Right.
and how nice she is as a person and everything like that. But
does she have an Amazon wish list?
she
Oh.
might. She
Oh,
does a lot
boy.
of online shopping.
Oh, you need to find out.
Yeah.
Does a lot of
It's a
online
weird
shopping.
thing when that happens. Yeah.
It's been a topic.
No,
this
but
been a
year.
topic,
the thing
yeah,
is,
yeah.
like, within, I think it goes through any community, but, like, with hers, you can kind of get the trolls and all that stuff,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
it's more of the brand that you present yourself to be
Yeah.
will kind of create your own community of people.
Right.
And her fans are all so positive, and, like, there isn't, like, she's not getting graphic photos of
Right.
Yeah.
things, and,
She saw
she's
the.
not getting those, like, raunchy DMs,
Yeah, yeah.
She's not getting wick pics.
Yeah, she got the
No,
wick pick and
no
she was
wick
good.
pics.
Are
All
wick
right,
pics out
yeah.
there? Are you
I
scared
hope-
of?
I
Are you
hope
scared
not.
of old wick pics showing up?
My wick pick?
We trademark wick pic, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
That's
you-
ours now.
you
If
can
you want
have
to
it.
use that, you got to
That's
talk to us.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's a Tinder thing.
We'll figure it out.
Is her bigger? Is her following bigger than yours?
It is.
How much?
Wow.
It is. I haven't checked recently, but
Sure.
she climbs like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's.
So I assume somebody like her Instagram is probably her.
Yeah.
game,
So
yeah.
Instagram's her main platform. She does very well on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's her handle?
It's Carly Woods.
It's with the ITS.
Yeah. ITS KARLI WOODS.
Cool.
Okay, so Sean and I were talking this morning. He didn't really know the legend of Tim Hortons. Tim Horton, the man. Can you explain for our American listeners, because a lot of them will know Tim Hortons from, everyone tweeting about it when we go race in Canada.
Yep.
Do you know the Tim Horton story? Like how he met his fate?
I don't, to be honest with you.
And you're a Canadian.
I just know that he was a legendary hockey player who started a franchise.
Okay. All right. Would you like me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me a story, please. I got my coffee right here.
You're good to go.
I'm all ears.
So I was explaining this to Sean earlier.
Do you know what you want, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
excuse me.
yeah. Tim Horton, after a hockey game one night, decided to drive his Pantera that he'd been given from the team he was playing that night he recently played for. I can't remember which one. And decided to go on like a drunken, booze-fueled, just highway romp.
I already like him.
Yeah, exactly. And a cop actually sees him like going by like crazy speeds. People are calling the cops on somebody in a Pantera that's just blowing down the highway. So they chase after him. They can't keep up. They lose sight of him, and then they find him where he rolled the thing like 15 times. He gets ejected from the car like 130 feet away from where it crashed.
Yeah.
And in the car they find like a half finished bottle of vodka, and he's dead. That's Tim Horton.
Canadian treasure.
Yeah.
I think I heard a different version of
Yeah. Yeah.
that one in my childhood when I was always getting
Yeah.
my
So
Tim
he's-
Hortons hot chocolate on the way to the karting
So
track every morning.
he deserves that kind of legacy, because that guy was like all in.
I think he should be more. I think the brand should be more involved in racing by the sound
Right,
of things.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a vodka opportunity there. Like get some
be a thing.
sponsorship going on, cross promotion.
Get on it, Veronica.
She's good with it.
It's like, what? What is this? What are you guys doing?
Leave me alone, please.
We watched an awesome video, like probably the best prank we've ever seen. Ever.
So the beauty of pranks is they're really well done when they're executed poorly.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know where we're going with this?
No.
So our key to researching our guests is when you Google search somebody or YouTube search, you go to the 5th page, because that's
For
where
sure.
that's where the gems are.
Yeah.
Right.
So we saw an amazing pranked video from your DTM days
Oh.
with a Russian interviewer.
Yeah.
Where the whole joke is that she's claiming you're American, and of course you don't know about it. But what I loved was how you looked actually violently mad about this
furious.
whole thing.
Yeah.
I was furious.
Which,
Sure.
by the way, I'm going to give you a pass on the quote, "It's a big insult to call me American."
You don't give a shit.
Okay,
All right,
all
I'm
right,
in.
cool.
All right.
I'm a very proud
That's
Canadian,
okay, but
so-
like if somebody confused me for Canadian, I wouldn't be like, "What the you know." But we're going to give you a pass because
Yeah. All right.
you seem like an okay guy.
Well, thanks.
You look actually pissed in that video.
Yeah, so there's backstory there.
Okay.
Oh,
right?
good.
So we're
Because this is like some pre-race thing,
we're
I'm
in
sure.
Moscow, Russia
Okay.
for a race.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a legit Russian then.
It was a legit Russian
Okay.
doing the interview.
Yeah.
So obviously Mercedes didn't tell us that there was even an interview. Like it wasn't on my calendar. It wasn't
Okay.
in the schedule.
Okay.
The official series drivers meeting for the event was like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
And when I was walking to
Oh,
the
so you need to be, like,
I was walking
on your
to
way. Okay.
the drivers meeting. Right, it's a mandatory drivers meeting.
Yeah, right.
In DTM, if you missed it, it was a 1,000 euro fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
If you were late, if you're like the Germans are punctual folk.
That's how we are with
Right.
our podcast too.
Yeah.
So
Clearly, I am as well being.
Yeah, I was
being
going to
late.
say,
Yeah.
lunch is on you.
yeah.
But
Wiggins got the check.
why not?
No, go on.
But it's like as soon as that clock goes 12 o'clock,
Yeah, you're in trouble.
that door's locked and you're not in. 1,000 euro fine.
Oh, like they're literally shutting the door,
yeah.
so you have to be like, hello.
Yeah, you're not allowed
knocking.
in. If
Oh
you're
my
not there on
God.
time,
They
game
ain't
over.
screwing
Yeah.
around. Okay.
right? So we're walking there, and then the press guy for Mercedes goes like, "Hey, can you do this interview real quick?" And I'm like, "No, man."
You're right.
The driver's meeting.
5
yeah,
minutes away, and he's like, "No, it'll be really quick. It'll be really quick. Just go do it." I'm like, "No."
That guy's fired, right?
I'm like, "I'm not doing it." Well, it was his prank.
Oh God. Yeah, well, like he should have a schedule though.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I was just like, I'm like, how long is it going to be? He's like, 2 minutes tops. And I'm just like, and it was like right next door to where the driver's meeting
Sure.
was. And I was just like, okay, let's smash this out, get it done. And I sit down, you know,
Mic'd up.
mic up, and then the girl's like doing makeup in the corner for like already a minute. And I was just like, looking at my guy, I'm like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is not funny anymore. Like, I'm doing a favor for you because it wasn't in my schedule.
Yeah.
And like, I'm about to miss something actually very important. And then the interview was just the biggest waste of time.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's one joke pulled on for
Over and over
for like
again.
15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
like,
just American question after American.
but so it was like that, right? And I was just so like, but I should have just got up and left,
Right. Right.
but I didn't.
Yeah.
And that was like my only regret from that. But end of the story is I got actually really pissed off, and then she was like, "Oh, it's a joke." I'm like, that was so
Oh, we
really
could tell.
poorly done.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
could tell
No,
right
no,
away.
you're
right?
like,
it
you're
was so poorly
He-
executed.
He
Yeah.
wasn't like, "Oh, you got me."
Yeah.
He's like, "Cool." You
I
know.
was like, so you wasted my time.
Yeah. Right.
Not only did they waste my time, I missed the driver's meeting.
Did
Yeah.
you get the fine?
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
Did you give it to that PR
did
guy?
you- Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have to
like,
do
you
it?
pay
And
this
Mercedes
shit,
paid
dude.
it.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
I was actually furious, and it ruined my whole
Still-
day. It put me in the worst mood.
Yeah.
Okay, so you realize if anybody in your paddock listens to this, they know that they can screw with you.
Probably.
Yeah. So be prepared, but also payback's double. Get them back.
It is. I've been trying to scheme something to do with Hinch.
Well,
Dude, be
but,
careful.
this
No, I'm out.
you're not
I'm
gonna
out
vote.
on that.
All right.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Well, he's out, and if you collaborate with me, it's going to escalate way too quickly, way too fast.
Right.
So
We don't
you
want
know.
anyone to get injured.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's-
you're
you're out
I'm
too
out.
then.
You
Yeah.
can't. You
Yeah,
can't.
you're on your own
So,
there.
or at least land in a libel suit. It's not a joke.
I got good lawyers. We got manage that one.
But because that video to me, like like a prank video ends when like the person doing the thing changes character, and all of a sudden you realize, oh, it's a thing, or Justin Timberlake walks out, or something.
Yeah.
This is
And-
literally
And this
like
was just like the end was like, oh, it's fake.
the
Ta-da!
end,
Yeah.
right.
Like,
It's
Yeah.
a fake interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
All
like,
right.
cool story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neat. I hate you.
Just took my mic off and just walked out. I was like, this is
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You
that makes
actually
the
at
cut.
one point look at your watch. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how we
Okay.
knew that's the tell for this one.
yeah. We're like, he looks at his watch.
that
He's
was,
got to
that, was
go.
a, that was a sponsored
Yeah.
watch too.
Like,
Swipe that one. And ruin
Always the
that.
company man.
Yeah, look at me now.
right.
Oh,
Oh.
all right.
Okay. So you're looking for sponsors here.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get a watch deal out of this show, we get like a watch, and we'll fight for
We'll
it.
fight for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you can do it like a divorced child, right? Just
Cut it in
Monday,
half.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
Friday.
Cut that kid right in half. All right. So
Let's flag down a waitress.
yeah.
What are you guys gonna get?
What? I've never been here, so what's the ticket? What are you going with?
I'm an eggs Benedict guy.
Oh yeah, okay.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
I get boring and I ask for no hollandaise sauce.
So you just like.
So it's literally poached egg on an English muffin.
Like,
Is that
egg
a
sandwich?
fitness?
Just get you an egg sandwich.
Is that a fitness thing, or you just don't like hollandaise sauce?
I don't like hollandaise sauce.
All right.
Okay. Learning a lot about
I
it.
also don't really handle dairy super well.
As an intolerant, or
It's not. I have to pick my battles.
okay.
You know, if I overdo it, I get some issues. But I can definitely I can have a pizza like once a week, month-ish.
Well, hang on.
Okay.
know?
Wait.
You could just eat a slice.
Yeah, but you're not
gonna do that.
Like
right,
pizza's my
right,
favorite
right.
food in the world. You're not gonna.
Okay.
Oh, I have a thing. Like if I get a podium pizza. Like my fans bring me
Guess
pizza.
what I had
at the
Saturday
track.
night?
Attaboy.
There it is.
You get what's the local spot?
I've been going to Blaze.
Okay.
Blaze
Okay.
Pizza.
They have those in
lately.
LA.
Yeah.
Those are
They're
fantastic.
incredible.
Yeah.
Right.
And plus, they do a dairy-free cheese. They do like a vegan cheese, and it's
Okay.
actually like pretty tasty.
Okay. Which one? They do Daya?
I do Daya at home.
Yeah.
I think they make their own
Right.
in-house. It's definitely not branded Daya.
it's knockoff Daya. Yeah, knockoff Daya.
But apparently, Blaze is like LeBron James's empire.
Is it?
It's his
Wow.
company.
Okay.
You know, he's in on
Well,
it.
he needs the money, so that's
And
good.
it's like the fastest-growing franchise in North America right now.
Wow.
Is there nothing that man can't touch?
Right. Everything's gold. You should get into podcasting with us.
You know what I bet it was? All this time, when he like blows the chalk into the air, it's probably
It's been pizza dough.
flour.
Yeah, it's been
For the longest time, I thought it was something else that's white, and powdery. But
like what? Snow?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a booger sugar, maybe.
Booker sugar. Nicely done. So on this episode,
All right.
Wickens calls him a cokehead.
So why?
Whoa, I didn't say that.
Whoa, guys.
So I have we'll wait for our while we're kind of waiting for our waitress to show up, I have probably the most important question of your IndyCar career so far. Have you done a Rami photo?
I have. Have I?
Oh, you don't.
I have not.
You'll know.
Wait, do you not know?
I don't even know what it
about
is.
Rami?
Oh, wow.
This is
Okay.
you're not an IndyCar driver yet.
Yeah.
It's
I
coming.
mean,
I have a
you're
Rami
doing
photo.
okay,
Yeah.
but that's when you've made it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll know.
It'll probably happen this month. Yeah.
Can
do we
I-
even
can I get
explain who
some
it is, or
hints?
do we let him like text Hinch? Like, hey, what's this about?
I do that so much every day anyway.
Yeah, this is a
Text
real
him right
thing.
now. Ask him about
Actually-
a Rami photo.
Yeah, say what's a Rami?
What's a Rami photo?
ROMMY.
Yeah. Let's see what he comes
Did he
back
text
with.
you this morning?
He did.
Okay, I texted.
Okay.
I was like, hey, let him know we're not trying to get him or anything.
Yeah. What's a Rami photo?
Here it comes.
Turn your sound on.
Dude.
He's like, wow, they did that already? They're already out of stuff to talk about?
Are you getting recognized out here?
Not really.
Yeah.
Kind of just fly under the radar.
Sure.
What about in Canada?
Never really there. I've been racing in
like,
Europe
I
for
would
so
know.
long
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like, that was the funny thing. Like racing in D10 with Mercedes, I was kind of like in limbo everywhere.
Right.
Where I was like kind of okay in Germany. Then I was living in England, so I'm kind of okay there-ish. But there wasn't that many British DTM fans
Right.
that were like kind of doing the crossover because like they're like in the UK, it's kind of like the BTCC, like the British Touring Car Championship. And then in Canada, like the hardcore fans always have known who I am.
Yeah, right.
But like the average
Yeah, I mean, if you're
Joe,
sort of-
I would never get a walking down the street like,
Right.
hey, you're Mercedes DTM driver Robert Wickens.
Right.
Yeah, I actually haven't been back to Canada since the season started, so I don't
Oh,
know.
wow.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how that's gonna go. But
So you came out here, what, February?
I moved here in January.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's actually hilarious that I've been racing in Europe for 12 years, and now I'm in North America, and I'm spending way less time in Canada.
Yeah, right.
Sensible.
Just south, yeah.
Just no time.
Did you have a apartment over there?
In where?
When you raced in Europe?
Yeah.
Where were you
Yeah.
based? In England?
I kind of floated around.
Yeah.
I love London as a city.
Yeah.
So I lived there for a few years. Most recently, the last 2 years, I was living in Monaco.
Actually, should we get ready?
Yeah, let's go right to it. Okay,
Okay.
so we have a pass-along question.
We normally do this close to the end, but it's perfect
But
for
it's
that.
so you live in Monaco, or you did live in Monaco. You
Yeah.
still keep your place.
I
You
still
still keep
have
your-
it this year just because it's like I have the lease. So
Okay, well, let's say, and like the Monegasque Tax Authority is not listening. We hope.
Okay.
It's like our one guy.
Yeah. So we have a pass-along question where the previous guest asks a question of our next guest, and
Yep.
so on.
Yeah. So we had dinner last night with Takuma Sato, and he wanted to know, as a Monaco resident, how are you going to keep that? How are you going to keep the residents? Because I guess
I think he's asking for himself, isn't he?
Well, he's had a place there since he started, basically.
Yeah. To be honest, I can't find a way that it can work. Because the big thing about using the the nice weather and the training facilities of Monaco, you're never there for the taxes.
Yeah, sure.
It's always nice weather and it's great for training.
Sure.
Can you say that one more time?
Yep.
It's clear. It's weather and it's great for training.
Yeah.
You can train all year round. A lot of road cycling.
Right.
Great little community of athletes there.
Sure.
Good facilities.
Sure. Great for training.
Great for training. But you can't avoid U.S. tax.
Right.
You have to pay it regardless because I'm working here. So if I'm a Monaco resident, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. There's no upside because you're still paying taxes no matter what. So
my lease ends or is up for renewal, I think, in like October or something.
Sure.
Is all your stuff out?
Luckily, it was a pre-furnished flat.
Nice.
So
a flat's an apartment.
Yeah, sorry.
for the U.S.
I
kids.
got for those U.S. kids. I got a studio apartment over there.
Yeah.
Nothing glamorous.
Living the dream.
It's nothing glamorous, but it's in Monaco.
Yeah.
You know what's insane though? So I just bought a house here in the States, in Indianapolis.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure the master bathroom is bigger than my studio apartment in Monaco.
Yeah. And
probably the whole house was cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Like, no comparison.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I think in Monaco it's like 40,000 euros per square meter to buy.
Yeah, that's a deal.
Yeah.
That's a deal.
It's a steal.
Yeah.
You should really look into it, kids.
Tonight we're going to have dinner with Terry Trammell, Dr. Terry Trammell,
Okay.
Dr. T, as I'm told he likes to be called.
Who hopefully you'll never meet.
Yep. Or
Fair.
just meet at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any question you would want to ask him that you could kind of hide behind us on?
Let's circle back to that one.
Oh, you're in charge. Okay, sure. We're going to circle back on that, Sean.
All right. What else? What else is on your agenda?
You guys don't understand that it's not my show now?
Welcome to Dinner with Robert Wickens.
Is there a
At
nickname?
lunchtime.
Do you have a nickname yet?
Wiki. It's been the one that's been floating around.
Okay.
Is that new or is that since you were a little kid?
As soon as I started racing in Europe, I was racing for Carlin, the British team there.
Yeah.
Might have heard of them. They're in IndyCar now.
Indy Lights. Proceed.
They're doing okay.
What?
But they were just big on nicknames. So, like, every single person in the team, like, I never even knew someone's real name.
Right.
It was always just, like,
Yeah, this is
random
Shorty.
stuff,
and this
right?
Is,
Yeah.
Right.
like one guy's, our truckie, his nickname was Fluffer.
Proceed.
Go on.
And I never got the story behind it. We had another guy that was Grumps.
Okay.
Right. You know?
Well, okay.
Yeah. He was like super happy.
Yeah. Exactly.
But so mine was Wiki because Talladega Nights just came out.
Right. Yeah.
So
Wiki Bobby.
Wiki Bobby.
Yep.
Ricky Bobby type thing, and then that kind of stuck. So in Europe, I luckily did a lot of racing with British teams.
Right.
I was just Wiki, like on my pit board to be Wiki on like everything would just to be like that until I went to DTM with Mercedes, and then it was Robert Wickens.
Great nickname.
Yeah.
A lot of fun there.
And it took like 5 years before they called me Rob.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're
congratulations, Robert Wickens.
They got there in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hinch said.
This is the Rami
response?
response?
Okay. So we've got
Hinch got back to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went. Ha 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 ha.
Was that it?
And he said it's a photo where you take
Pepsi
a
and
pic
water.
next to him on one side, and then you switch sides and take another photo.
That is correct.
That is correct.
Yes, you're going to
with
do
one
this.
very one very identifiable map.
Okay.
You'll know. You'll know when the Rami pit comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be in a book forever.
So there's a chance I might have already done this when I did the Rolex 24.
Oh, yeah.
Very
that's him.
possible
That's
you
him.
did that at the
Yep.
Rolex 24.
Yep.
Yeah. It was like a little tan guy.
Can't remember
Book bag.
how tan he was. Remember he was on the shorter side?
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of mid-50s, kind of hunched.
Yeah. But it was like just before the race, like on the grid.
Yeah.
So
At
it
a
was
very
kind of-
inappropriate time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It was a little digital.
That's going to be happening to you
snap.
for the rest
But
of your career.
you say it's all
in
right
this
because that was
country.
the first time, and it's a fan thing.
That's
At a certain point, it'll become an entitlement. That's when you'll start noticing.
That's when you pick up on
Yeah,
it.
when he stands next to you, like, all right, this is what we do now.
Well, then it's
Then
just
you'll
like
know.
clockwork, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. We made some deals with Veronica on some things we wouldn't cover. and obviously territories we shouldn't get into, but we are trying to get a little bit more political, and
there's a viewership there.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
For sure.
absolutely. You are technically a Canadian citizen, so as last I checked with the Constitution, you can't vote.
I will always be a Canadian citizen.
Okay.
Calm down.
I
We
have-
get
yeah,
it.
we
You're
get-
Canadian
I'm
and you're
Canadian.
proud. Okay, that's fine.
I drink my Molson very happily.
Now, you guys are doing okay because you have a handsome prime minister.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
He's a gorgeous
beautiful man.
gorgeous man.
Beautiful man.
If you could have voted in 2016 for a U.S. president, who would it have been?
Whew. For sure.
Okay, we'll try that again.
Let's try this again.
Oh, sorry, JRP.
So when you were doing DTM with Mercedes, you got to work a little bit with Michael Schumacher. Is that true, or is that just kind of something they put out as press?
It was a tiny bit of working together, a lot of press,
Yeah.
I would say. So I was a part of the Mercedes junior team. It was something that was kind of brought back because in the 90s, Michael Schumacher was part of the Mercedes junior team,
right.
along with, oh my God,
Carl Windlinger.
Carl Ridlinger and
Yeah.
Heinz Harald
That's
Franzen.
right, yeah.
I think it was just the three of them.
Yeah. They all went on to be pretty good.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah.
But so they brought it back, and when Michael Schumacher joined Mercedes in Formula One on his return,
Right.
he was kind of our mentor of the junior team.
Right.
But you can understand a person of the caliber of Michael Schumacher
Yeah.
has a fairly busy schedule.
Right.
Not including the 20 whatever races Formula One does
Right.
in a season. So it was more or less a couple photos here and there, and just like when he was doing his appearances at a DTM race, he would kind of stop in and say hi and
Right.
kind of like chit chat a little
So
bit.
no like
But,
personal interactions that were memorable or anything.
No, like he never took me out to lunch to tell me
Right.
some secrets and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
But seems like a good guy.
Was there anybody like that in your career that did? Like any mentor figures? James doesn't count.
No, James doesn't count. We were too close friends for him to ever be a mentor. But
Right, you're like, no, I got this.
I got it, buddy.
Thanks for showing up today.
No, I mean Ron Fellows was a big part of my young career.
Was this pre or post mustache?
His mustache?
Yeah.
He oh man, I met him in 2001. Would he have had a mustache?
would've
then?
thought-
That would have been post.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's post mustache.
But he started a karting championship in Ontario, the Snooker Ron Fellows Karting Championship. And that's it was like the first platform of national karting that just kind of like got me noticed and took my career. And it was this amazing championship. Everyone in Ontario wanted to drive in this championship. The competition was there. Everything was there. The numbers, it was just a really good championship. It had good funding from sponsors. So there's like, as a 13-year-old kid, like I was getting prize money.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
500 bucks.
Right.
You know, this, that, the other.
You're still
but
a
it's
pro
like,
driver.
You know, but it was just incredible. And, you know, I was one of those kids that was running 3-4 classes in a day.
Yeah.
And I would luckily be getting on the podium on almost all of them all the time. And it was like, we were actually, you know, I was paying for the entry fees, I was paying for the
Right.
tires, and we're like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then from there, Ron and I just stayed in pretty close contact. And he actually, when I went to the Formula BMW World Finals in Bahrain in 2005, it was a big struggle to get the budget to go there.
Yeah.
Because it was going to cost about 50 grand
Yeah.
to get to that one race. And
Yeah.
I was just like, I have to do this.
Right.
It's a world championship race. I can become a world champion in something.
Yeah.
Right.
And the winner of the race got a Formula One test with BMW.
Right.
And I was like, I have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to. My parents like, you know, it's like, it's literally all the budget that you have for the 2006 season. Like, do you really want to do it all in one race? I'm like, yes.
Yep. Yep.
I have to go. So we scrounged everything that we could, and Ron actually personally paid for my flights to go down there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And in return, he wanted me to put the Snooker and Fellows Karting Championship sticker on the car. So if you look at the mirrors of that race, I had the Snooker and Fellows Karting Championship
sure.
on the
That's
mirrors
not a bad
there.
deal.
Yeah, about to say.
But that race, I didn't win.
Right.
Not a world champion. However, I did pick up a Red Bull contract from it.
Right.
That was actually what I was going to ask. Is how does it, for the 15-year-old listening, how does a Red Bull contract show up?
It was just one of those things where the event went horribly. I was very fast, qualified pole, got disqualified in tech after qualifying. And the World Finals format was similar to kind of a high-level karting format now, where it would be qualifying, and then it would be broken into groups, and there'd be 3 heat races, and it'd be Group A versus Group B, and then everyone races each other once. If you won, you got 0 points. If you finished second, you got 2 points, and the person with the lowest amount of points would start first for the final.
Right.
And so because I got disqualified in qualifying, I had to start 36th in every single heat.
Right. That's awesome. A lot of fun.
But we were quick, and I finished 6th, 5th, and 3rd in the 3 heats.
Okay. So if somebody's paying attention.
And so already after that, I think I did fast lap in all 3, and it was like, it's one of these things where it felt like I just couldn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Apart from the car getting disqualified.
Right.
But the good thing is we got disqualified for something that was kind of like one of those, like, really things. Because in that Formula BMW Championship, for the people that don't know, it was so strict. Like, if you had a series logo not in its 30 millimeter by 30 millimeter allocation space, like, you could get disqualified for having improper sticker placement.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But so then I started 7th for the pre-final race, thinking like, okay, I'm right back in this. I was overtaking for 3rd. We had contact, and I got a puncture. So I started the final, the one to become a world champion, back in 32nd.
Yeah.
And ended up finishing 6th.
Wow.
So it's just one of those things. I left with a Red Bull Junior Team contract. Dr. Helmut Marko was at the race, and after the heat races, he was already talking to me.
Yeah.
And that gave me my budget to run in 2006, and they took me to Europe, and I had a great 5-year stint with them, where they honestly put me on the map.
Yeah.
Because they put me into Atlantics. It kind of got me seen a little bit here in America, but then in 2008 they shipped me off to Europe and raced over there for a while. And when our partnership ended, I still had enough reputation to get in with good teams and at a good price that I could actually afford it through the sponsors that we could scrounge up to keep it going. So
how intimidating is that guy?
Marco.
He's blunt.
Yeah, I believe that.
He's not. He's a no BS.
Yeah.
No BS attitude in that man.
Yeah.
But honestly, I liked him. We got on very well. He's a straight shooter. If you won the race but you didn't do the fastest lap, he wouldn't congratulate you. He would just ask you, why didn't you get the fastest lap?
Wow.
Okay.
He was just one of those guys, always pushing you along. But you knew how he felt all the time. If he told you something, you knew it was going to happen. So no news was often good news.
Yeah.
But no, we had a very good relationship, because I like to think that I wasn't a pushover with him. I think a lot of people would kind of bow to him.
Sure.
And I was always kind of sticking up for myself. Not making excuses and stuff, but I'll just be like, I'll say what's on my mind, and that's been a pro and a con in my career so far, that I've always been strongly spoken and not afraid to say what I want to say to important people.
Right.
And, you know, I've had times in the past, particularly at Mercedes, where I would probably say things that I shouldn't have, and
we can hang out.
Yeah.
in heat of the moment. And I remember one of my good teammates, Gary Paffett, from my time over there, would just be like, he would text me during like a debrief where I'm just like
across the room,
just hammering it in how unhappy I am, and he would text me like, man, shut up.
Yeah, I've been in that room. I've been in that conversation. Yeah, copy that. We were told to ask about a certain favorite driver of yours in IndyCar right now. Zachary Clayman DeMello?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are buds?
Zachary Clams and Tomatoes. No, he's honestly, we go pretty far back, because I'm still very active in the karting community. My brother owns a karting team, Prime Power Team, based out of Hamilton, Ontario. And so like every now and then, him and we both do the Florida Winter Tour karting championship, just to stay fit in the off season and this, that, the other. And because he's quite a bit younger than me, I was actually already out of karting, but he was still in it. So I've always known who he was. But in recent years, when we've both been old enough to race against each other in karting, which was the first time I actually raced against him until IndyCar, we would chat a little bit. We kind of had some mutual respect. He was a super quick driver. I'm not a fan of his lifestyle per se.
Okay.
But
proceed.
No, and then it's just recently, really, where he in free practice here at the GP, he just made kind of like a bonehead thing. He wasn't checking his mirrors. I was on a hot lap on reds in free practice too, and I was probably going about 60 miles an hour quicker than him because he was on an out lap, I was on a time lap, and then he moved over to the right, and I was like, oh, thanks, bud, you're letting me pass. I'm on a hot lap.
That's
it's on
what
an
you're
out lap.
supposed to do.
And no, he starts weaving like paint to paint down the straight, and I had to like go so far off track, like it could have been bad if it was.
Oh, right, you had to avoid.
If it was any other track, but the back straight at the Indy GP, it would have been like a massive.
I reckon the guy for that
event.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So yeah, I messaged him afterwards. I'm like, man, use your head.
Yeah.
And he apologized or things, but it's just one of those things. Sometimes people do things and you think, why are they there?
Now, we promise never to name our sources when we hear insights like that. But I have a question. Being from Canada, you grew up in cold weather. I assume that's kind of what you're acclimated to. And then, of course, spending a lot of time in England. How do you deal with the temperature of Sam Schmidt's motorhome?
I've never been inside.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Is it warm?
It's quite warm. Yeah.
It's on the warm side.
Yeah.
I know he's always on the cold side as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. Sean had to be rehydrated at the hospital last night.
Yeah.
IV bag. Okay, so Terry Trammell, we're having dinner with him later. Have you thought of a question for him yet? And it can be anything.
It does not have to be racing at all.
Mario
So
Andretti.
I'm new to IndyCar,
Okay,
right?
sure.
He's the IndyCar doctor.
Yes.
We'll edit that for you.
Yeah, we'll edit that part out.
Okay. And secondly, he's the first guy on the scene of things?
He's one of them.
Yeah. He's like the surgeon you want if you need a surgeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be anything related to his career.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Like Mario Andretti didn't know. What was it? Parker Kligerman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know who that was. So he's like, just ask him if he likes dogs. That was his pass along question.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to hide behind someone for that.
Well, no, we're gonna say Robert Wickens told us to ask. He's just not gonna be there to slap you.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like that's how you're hiding.
Okay, because I was gonna say
you
like,
get credit for it.
What was the most inconvenient thing you were doing when you got called in to work?
That's
Like
awesome.
the most
actually.
inconvenient crash. Do you mean in motorsports specifically?
But like he's in the
Anything,
middle of
like-
a movie or something, and
Man, what if he's on the can? He gets a call and he's got to go,
Yeah, I like that question.
right?
No, I agree. Totally agree. All right. I have a feeling you got to get going quickly here, but so Ryan and I are what in the industry you would call a content creator.
So is my fiance.
She actually makes a living on her
Digital
content
content creator.
Yeah,
I kind of do.
yeah.
I'm selling
sort
cars.
of. I'm selling videos to corporate people.
We're influencers.
We're influencers.
We're media, like actually credentialed media by the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Bravo.
Just saying.
That's
But
a big deal.
We'll make
Not sure how that happened.
we'll make videos, and there's scripts, storyboards. We put a lot of effort and thought into some of the videos we make. Do you have any idea who we are?
Nah, I didn't until
Okay.
today.
Okay,
Sorry.
so you haven't.
You don't remember anything we may have done?
regarding you?
Nope.
Okay, it's for the.
You're not gonna
Oh,
fire
sure,
that?
go ahead.
I'm hoping I
No, we've
get to see something.
Yeah, let's see. We made a promotional video for you.
feel like a jerk now.
Yeah, no,
Well,
we're done.
My day's
It's
over.
over. Yeah.
Ruined. We had Terry Trammell at dinner. Like, I don't care about anything anymore. Wickens didn't remember us.
Wait, are you guys the Wickens for life people?
Boom! That's us.
That's like my family's like favorite video of all time.
Good. You just
Every
made our
time-
day. We're
every
back
time.
on. We're back to
We're
good.
those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the fans at home that don't know what we're talking about,
Robert Wickens for life!
And we're
Wickens!
for those who don't know, we're driving past a Napa. We're driving past a
I love
Napa
how I
truck.
just cut. Like,
so we're driving to Alabama.
To do a very serious video.
Yeah, like a documentary on a man that passed away. Who's
Yeah.
hopefully in the Hall of Fame in NASCAR this year. This is Monday after the St. Pete race where
Yep.
you and Rossi famously had a coming together, which I believe was 100% his fault.
I agree.
Just putting it out there. Anybody that's crossed up at the apex is out of control. And if you weren't there, I think he would have spun anyway.
I'm
Yeah.
glad we're saying eye to eye on this.
And I didn't know you at all at the time, so it wasn't like I like the guy. No, I was literally like, nah, dude's crossed up at turn. No, you're supposed to be going out. Anyways, so we see a Napa Auto Parts trailer headed west as well, and that's where that video comes from. And it actually
It's
did.
like a cargo truck or something.
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
like they're delivering parts
Yeah.
or some of their place. And so we do that video, and we just put it out on our Dinner with Racers page, not on our personal one. And nobody picked up on the fact that what we were doing is we were in a car together going somewhere. Normally, we literally have to be super careful about anything. Like, we can't post anything in here.
Yep.
Someone will walk in here and be like, ha! Like Hinch, we got spotted. People are like that into the show now, and so we were surprised that no one picked up on that. But that video got a lot of plays, and then like 2 weeks later or something, you see it, and we're like, oh, shit, right? I guess he would see that.
I guess he would know this. But for context, like my business, we make videos for corporate clients, race teams, whatever, and we'll put months and months and hours and hours and hours into our projects. And one of our most successful videos was just us yelling out of a car.
Oh, I loved it because it was organic.
Yeah, there you go. He's using marketing
natural.
terms. It was synergistic.
Yeah.
We really peeled the onion on that one.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
We're staying. I was late. Thought you guys are.
Oh no, we want to. We'll take it. We'll take every minute we can, but I'm pretty sure we'll get yelled at. Oh, Veronica's on the timer.
We could do it a couple
timer.
Minutes.
Okay. Well, we also have to.
3 minutes.
We also have to do a quick little video thing outside.
Yeah.
That'll take. So I don't know if that's in our time, then we should probably get going.
Yeah, probably.
Plus our food's here.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
You don't want your bacon to get cold.
All right. So so we don't have we don't have as much time with you today as we normally get with our guests. So we got to kind of cut out quickly here. But all right, Indy 500. Most likely this will come out by the time the race is already over. I'm not sure yet.
Yep.
How'd it go?
How'd you do?
Oh, I was pretty happy with my performance. I think there's.
Gotta thank my sponsors.
We had a good Honda.
I think there's always room for improvement, but it's my first time.
Okay.
It's just
Give me a break.
it's just so exciting with so many people there.
It's very humble for having won.
Yeah.
But
2-lap lead too. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
but think about like the next year, once I've experienced it once.
So 2019, it's gonna be you and Johnny Rock Page
Yeah, we're
neck and neck.
We're gonna be tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Oh, hey. How? Real quick, the mill.
Oh, sure.
What's your dad do?
My dad,
Yeah.
he is a maintenance mechanic for heavy machinery.
So he has his own shop or something like that?
No.
Okay. When you were starting out at go-karting, was he the supportive dad, or was he the go-kart little league dad that's like hammering on you? If you don't get it together, you're going back to the machine shop with me.
Oh no, super supportive.
Yeah. No
Where-
threats of going to a mill or something if you don't make it.
No. Where my family was very unique was I have a brother, as I mentioned before,
Right.
5 years older. When we started karting, it was kind of like, so I was 7, my brother was 13,
Right.
and he wanted to be the mechanic. And obviously my dad, being a mechanic, was like teaching him the ropes, all that stuff. So I'd be the driver, and it was always like my brother and my dad. And then as my brother got older, very quickly, like by the time Trevor was 15, he already knew kind of more than what my dad did, because my brother was just like really switched on with like setup and like driver coaching and everything. And so he became basically my mechanic, and my dad would be, let's say, team manager role.
Right.
You know, he would be the guy that would kind of like make sure everything was under control, because back then in our karting, it was just like ma-pa stuff. I wasn't a part of a team or any of that stuff like it is now. Like now you have to be in a team with this big tent hospitality.
Right.
Where this was just like, we had a car, we had our little trailer, and we would go racing.
But he was never like, I'm going to burn a stuffed animal if you spin again.
I have the most supportive parents in the world.
Okay.
They sacrificed a hell of a lot to get me to where I am.
Cool.
And there was never pressure on anything.
You're not going back to the mill.
Well, about to say, Paul Tracy's father, the exception, do Canadian parents yell? Because they're known for being very polite. Sorry, but you're going to go to that mill, eh?
Hey, sorry.
Enjoy the mill. It's an honest life. All right, that's a terrible Canadian.
Yeah, all right.
We should go. Continental's got the check.
I'm finished.
Wickens! I love that he knew the video.
Wickens!
I love how long it took for him to recognize that was
Parents
us.
love that video.
Yeah.
That's all they talk about.
You are
apparently.
welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Wickens.
That's right. We like you guys too. So thanks for making a great kid.
And thank you to Acura and Continental for making all of this possible.
Continental Tire. Send them a tweet. Tell them that you love us.
At Continental Tire.
At Acura. Play a song now.
Well, this next song you're going to complain about is called Saturn Till June. No, excuse me. The group's name is called Saturn Till June. The song's name is called Tiffany's Curse. And you can find these guys on Reverb Nation at Saturn Till June. That's reverbnation.com/Saturn, like planet or defunct car company. Till, that's T-I-L, and then June, J-U-N-E. Enjoy.